Right now we have Magic Johnson on the phone. And Earvin, thank you. I really appreciate you doing this because I know this is a tough day for you as well because Kobe was, I mean, he was beloved by you and everyone. I'm wondering your reaction to the news.
Just, Cookie and I we're just devastated. I'm still in disbelief, Jim, and what he meant to Laker Nation, what he meant to the basketball world, what he meant to now even telling stories, what he was doing in terms of producing documentaries, and then the thing that impressed me, he was a great husband and an outstanding father, the way he took so much joy into his daughters and coaching them, and he loved basketball. He loved helping NBA players, college players, kids. If you go around the NBA today, he has mentored and he worked out so many players around the league, and then what he's done for our city. I mean, we love our sports icon, and he was one of the biggest that's ever played in this city, and the way he was giving back, homelessness, and on and on and on. He really was passionate about giving back to those who are less fortunate. And then, so I think, our city lost a great man, a great leader, and we know the all-time greatest Laker. It's just amazing that we were blessed to have a chance to know him, but also to see him play. But to me, his greatest joy was really after basketball, and was being a husband and a father, and working and being a coach of his daughter's basketball team.
And I know, Earvin, that you gave him a lot of personal advice as to how to conduct and comport himself after basketball, because you weren't worried about the basketball end of it. It was after basketball, and he took your advice on that.
Yeah, I think that, we had so many conversations, Jim. I used to love when we won the championship, just going into the locker room and talking to him. We would be in the trainer's room, just him and I, or sometime, one time him and Shaq, and just reflecting on the journey of becoming a champion. And I tell you, the greatest conversation we had, though, was both of us saying how much we love being a Laker. Kobe relished being a Laker and playing his whole career just for the Lakers. And he loved Jeannie Buss. I mean, and Dr. Buss, but he loved Jeannie. They were like sister and brother. We always laugh like he was I was 1A, and he would tell me he was 1B, and how much we just both love playing in this town, winning in this town, also giving back in this town. And people are going to miss his smile and just miss him, because Kobe had an aura about him. And Jim, it was like, I thought he was going to live forever. I thought he was invincible. I thought he was, he played like that. He walked like that. He was just a confident young man. And when Jerry West drafted him, I remember him telling us when he went one-on-one against against Michael Cooper, that Kobe was the next greatest player to play in the league. And he was 17 years old. He wasn't even 18 yet. And I'm like, what? Are you sure, Jerry? And boy, was Jerry right. He was spot on. And we will always remember what Kobe did on the court, but we will remember him, what he did off the court too, and for this city. And I don't think right now that we can probably put it into words on what he's meant for Los Angeles. It's just, I'm gonna miss him, because we used to talk about Italy and being a father and husband, and things that were just special to the two of us. And I'm gonna miss those conversations I had with him, and miss him and the impact that he made in our city.
You talked about the family. He was a true family man, and he loved the idea, Earvin. He loved the idea that everyone in the family were ladies. He said, "Man, I live in a house full of women."
Yes, I know. We often talked about that, and he, again, I got the honor of blessing him when they put both of his numbers up, and number 8, number 24, and it's just, Kobe is unique in so many different ways. And when you put on that uniform, that Laker uniform, there was nobody who took more pride in being a Laker than Kobe. Nobody. I mean, it was just amazing. And the city needs heroes, Jim. We need our heroes to be here. And this is not a good day for the city of Los Angeles, and because we needed Kobe to still be around, and our kids who idolized him, and the fan base who idolized him, and it was more for him to do. He died way too early, and he's left quite a legacy, but he was still building on that. And so this is a sad day for all of us.
And I know in his post career, he was ready to retire. I mean, when he said Mamba out, he was already prepared, because he, like you, had prepared for their post career while they were still playing.
Yeah. He's a decisive young man, and he knew he left it all on the court. We were all in there when he scored those 60 points, 60 or 61 points that last game. I mean, man, who goes out that way, I mean, only Kobe could go and dominate that last game to say goodbye to all the fans, and he's just special. God created this special basketball player, but also this special man, and we will miss him, and we will remember him for his greatness, but also let's remember how he affected the world too, because he impacted the world, and very few athletes get to impact the world like Kobe Bryant did, and then also our city, because that's the main thing, is that he touched our city, giving back. And just last night, we're celebrating, even with LeBron passing him, we were still celebrating Kobe as well. We celebrated LeBron's greatness, but we were celebrating Kobe's greatness as well. And then today, to have to say goodbye to a hero, to a legend, to an icon, and a guy that we will always love and remember in our hearts.
You remember, I was talking to Jerry West just a couple of moments ago. This was a playoff game in Utah, and the Lakers were really playing bad. And Kobe at halftime stood up and told everybody, "If you guys are afraid of winning, get out of my way. I'll win it myself."
Yes. Well, Kobe's mindset. I mean, this guy, he wanted to win, and he would do anything it took to win. Anything that, whether he was a great defender, besides one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen in the history of basketball, but he was one of the greatest defenders too. And if we needed a rebound, he was going to get that rebound. If we needed a steal, he was going to get that steal. But what I loved about him was the pressure moments, and him like saying, give me the ball, everybody calm down, I'm going to lead us to victory. And most of the time he did just that, just so calm, and the confidence that he lived with every day and everything that he was doing in his life, whether it was basketball or off the court. The man was a confident young man. But the thing that I love, he shared his talents with other young players. And he would work out 5 or 10 NBA players every summer. He would work out WNBA players, the young ladies. And, anybody that called him, he would work them out and give them advice. And that says something about the man, Kobe Bryant.
And also, Magic, he, like you, were totally prepared when he retired. I mean, he didn't have any question marks at all. When he said Mamba out, he meant it.
Well, Jim, people didn't know this. He was one of the greatest businessmen. That's what we talked about. We both were saying, hey, how we were prepared to leave the game, and then we knew that we wanted to get into business. And he made some of the incredible investments, and he knew what he wanted to do, and that was produce either movies or documentaries. He won a Academy Award for doing just that. And it's sad because he had so much to give and so much more to do. I'm not supposed to be doing this. He's supposed to be talking about me. He's way too young. I was supposed to pass away. He was supposed to be talking about me, not me talking about him. It's a sad day, man. It's just a sad day.
But we also know, Earvin, he was a practical joker. He, for as serious as he was, he had his lighter moments when he wanted to really have fun and poke fun at everyone.
Yeah, he had his side because he was a great teammate. He was a great teammate, and so he would play jokes on people, or he would make sure that everybody was okay. He also understood how he could bring every teammate along for the ride. One thing about great leaders is they know how to motivate people and how to get them to be better than they think they really are. And Kobe was a master at that, right? And he really pushed himself, and pushing himself, it also allowed him to push his teammates, because the teammates couldn't complain because they saw how hard he was working and how much he wanted to win, and so I think that's very, very important that Kobe wanted to win, but also, too, he knew what buttons to push with every teammate to get them to play at their best, too, at their highest level. And then, like you said, because of the jokes and because of he was a practical joker, then that allowed him to also get on guys, but also guys to also get on him, too, at the same time. That's why we won 5 championships with Kobe Bryant. And he will always be in our heart. We will always remember him. God bless his family, his wife, his daughters that he loved so much, and just rest in peace for Kobe and his daughter, Gianna. It's just a devastating day for the basketball world, for the city of Los Angeles, for Laker Nation, for all of us who also knew him so well and who cheered for him for 20 years.
And it's amazing how after he retired, when he would come to an arena, like he'd go to Staples Center, and you would see other players step up their game a little bit more just for that evening, trying to impress him, wouldn't you?
Oh, for sure. Man, the king is in the building. When you got Kobe Bryant in the building, I mean, it was just like you wanted to, show him that you had a great basketball game as well. You wanted to impress him because most of those guys who playing today idolized Kobe when they were growing up. I mean, probably every player that's playing today. And so they wanted to be like Kobe. And that's why he was special. And even the last game that I saw him at, you know, I wasn't there, but when they showed the clips on TV and how, you know, the ovation from the crowd, and then LeBron slapping him 5, and, you know, and you could always know that his daughter was going to be right next to him, right by him, you know, somewhere sitting with him, or the family, or, you know, him making sure that they were not too far from him.
And of course, you know, he just loved life.
Yep.
I mean, he loved just doing things. Just getting up in the morning was a passion for him.
Well, getting up early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, he got his workouts, you know, at 3 or 4 in the morning. You know, he was that guy, you know. And then also too, he would then drive his daughters to school, you know, and so yes, he was driven to be a great basketball player, but he's also driven to be a great father and a great husband too. So those things were important to him. And then what I really loved talking to him about was Italy. So we both had a passion for Italy. We talked about how many times we both went, and him speaking fluent Italian, you know, it was, and my love for Italian food. So we would both just have those conversations, and we would be sitting there for 30 minutes or so. You know, we were both supposed to be back in the game, but we'd be talking about it, and it would be great, you know. So, man, he's just special. And we don't, you know, we can't forget how special he was, not just on the court, but off the court too. And we've had so many great basketball players here that played for the Lakers, but none greater than Kobe Bryant.
And Irv, I want to end this by talking about numbers. And it's one thing to play for the Lakers, which is great. It's another thing to have your number retired. He had 2 numbers retired.
2 numbers. Well, and he should have. And, you know, again, he just, you know, when you make a decision to change your number, that even puts more pressure. Matter of fact, Kobe loved that pressure on him to still perform at a high level. And so, and what I love, when we did retire both numbers, Jim, you saw guys like myself, Kareem, you know, the old school guys who never played with Kobe, but they were there celebrating him. James Worthy, you know, Michael Cooper, on and on and on, Byron Scott, you know. So we were all there too, you know, celebrating him. And that the Lakers and Jeannie Buss, who, you know, Jeannie is just devastated. This is like her, like I told you earlier, her brother. It was just great of the Buss family to do that for Kobe, and that's how much he meant to not only the Buss family, but also to Laker Nation and all the great Laker fans we have around the world.
I appreciate your time, Magic. Thanks so much, man. And like we always say, you know, we just got to keep the faith.
Yeah, this is not a conversation I ever wanted to have, and my heart's just been broken. You know, I got out of church and found this out, and it's just, I just still can't believe it. Not Kobe. But we have to pray and pray for his family, also for his mom and dad. I played against Joe, his father, Jelly Bean. So we want to pray for him and his sisters as well, and his kids, and again, his beautiful wife. And so that they can, you know, have the strength to carry on. And Jim, thank you, and Pat and everybody at the studio for what you guys have been doing for us today, just to share the memories, share some of the clips of Kobe, and telling his story as well. So thank you, guys.
All right, Earvin, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
God bless.